damn it, it is going to get a little nutto today, okay? A little nutty. So if you're allergic to nuts, don't eat them. There is quite literally nothing all that wrong in having traditional gender roles within your relationship. However, that relationship is a two-way street. Jacob, you're 19. You cannot expect your girlfriend to be a trad wife when you can't even support yourself, let alone another human. The idea of wanting a trad wife so bad but not putting anything in for what it entails to have a trad wife partner, well, it's a real mental fest when one wants a trad wife, but wants said trad wife to have the qualities of the modern day woman, you know, getting her own money, being independent, taking care of her own. That is when it becomes toxic. A couple who has been married for over 12 years is seeing the relationship fall apart at the seams. A 37-year-old woman and a 43-year-old man is currently going through a divorce as we speak because bro got so obsessed with trad wife TikTok, he tried to force that lifestyle onto his wife. Not just that, but was so angry at her for not being like those other women that he sees online that he doesn't really understand that they fake probably like 90% of their lives anyways. The wife mentions that her husband would complain to her saying, "Why can't you dress like her when you're at home? Why don't you cook like her? I wish I had a wife like her who was waiting for me to come home. You do not love me because you do not see me as an authority in my home." Left absolutely complexed and distressed, this woman took to Reddit explaining how her marriage was completely fine up until March 2023. They both work, both cook, and both take care of the children. So what was with this sudden interest in trad wife TikTok when what you've got in front of you is not only more than enough, but I'd have to say, in fact, bro is quite lucky to even have been given the chance to marry this lovely individual who was put up with toxic shit over the past 12 years only to be told you're not good enough because you're not like this trad wife I saw on TikTok who makes bread from scratch. Why don't you do that, bitch? I know you have a job, but bow down to me. I'm the man. This man threw away a 12-year marriage for people who are faking their entire lives on TikTok and further preying on these types of hollow men. If you want a trad wife, you kind of have to be a trad husband too. Not even kind of, you just have to be a trad husband too. Otherwise, it just cannot work in this modern age. Women actually have rights now. Women, femmes across the world are achieving such great things at a rapid rate. I mean, why be tied down as a stay-at-home mum who is at the beck and call of her husband, who treats her like a piece of shit, who treats her like a piece of meat, who is nothing but utter shite, not willing to provide, not willing to be the sole source of income, not even willing to take care of the family? Absolutely not, because it sounds like Mr. Jacob wants a doll to serve him and not be his female counterpart. It's just not how it works, I'm sorry. In fact, I have no issue with people wanting to be trad wives or wanting to take up traditional gender roles within their relationships. That's your business. That's no one else's business. However, what I do have an issue with is the trad wives who get up on TikTok and act so much better than other women because other women choose to lead a different life to them. I'm sorry, but if you want to go to the farmer's market on Sundays and take care of the kids, that's completely fine. I love that for you. But you don't have to hate what I want for me. We live in a day and age where traditional homemaking has been forgotten about and even looked down on. I don't think it's necessarily that it's looked down upon because, I mean, personally, I don't care what you do in your relationship as long as you're two consenting adults and you both are on the same page and it's not an situation, then by all means go for it.
Traditional homemaking has been forgotten about and even looked down on, where women are fighting to be in the same positions as men, indoctrinated to focus more on their careers and less on the home.
I hate that whole indoctrinated trope. Just because you don't understand the way somebody chooses to lead their lives doesn't mean that it's necessarily bad or it's wrong. Like, I'm sorry that it isn't the 1950s anymore, sweetheart. If you want to live back in that time, by all means. Nobody is telling you that you can't do that. But I think because it is such a different time where women can do a lot more than being a childbearer and a stay-at-home mum, I mean, that's absolutely amazing that people get to have the choice to do whatever the they want with their lives. It doesn't mean that somebody who's living the opposite life of you, who doesn't want kids and doesn't want to be in a relationship and has their own career, it doesn't mean that that's bad. It doesn't mean that, oh my god, Stacey's indoctrinated because she doesn't want to be a homemaker. Point of view. You used to be a pro-abortion, anti-marriage, lesbian feminist. What? when you used to be a lesbian? But now you're getting married to your fave man on earth, love serving him, and can't wait to make lots of babies. I love that for you. I love the fact that you've met somebody and you're like, yep, you know what? I love this person. I want to spend every single waking minute with this person, and I want to procreate with this person. Amazing, but it doesn't mean that what you believed in before is wrong, because it isn't. What I feel like happens here a lot of the time is that these people, in a way, lose their sense of self because they get into a relationship with somebody who thinks the complete opposite of them. And because that validation thing is sort of ticking, they're like, if I completely mold myself into how this person thinks and I don't think for myself anymore, that means that I get to marry them and I get to procreate and I get to have all these babies. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm anti-marriage in a lot of cases. I want to get married one day. Yeah, but it doesn't mean that I still hold the values of you shouldn't just marry somebody so easily. It is why the divorce rate in America is so high, because people will just meet someone, they think, you know, I want to spend the rest of my life with this person, and then they find out who they actually are after marrying only just after a year, not getting to know them whatsoever, not spending those crucial, 3 to 5 years of seeing how your life will be like with this person. No, they just want to marry on a whim and then get a divorce, and it hurts all parties involved. So in that sector, yeah, I am anti-marriage in those cases. I feel like people should do whatever the they want with their bodies, and I hate that it's a debate for some people, and I don't really understand the lesbian feminist part. Like, was she a lesbian before and now she's like met a man and she's not a lesbian anymore? I don't really understand that part. I don't know. I get so much hate for being a stay-at-home mum, but while you're working a full-time job you hate, I'm picking out sourdough at the markets on a Monday morning. Stop flicking your hair all over that bread, bitch! Like, good for you, I guess. Good for you that you're in a really good position where you are actually in a relationship where you are being taken care of and you are being supported. I absolutely love that for you. But what I don't love is being like, you're working a full-time job you hate because you need to support yourself. It puts a really sour taste in my mouth, mostly because we're in a cost of living crisis at the moment globally. And with inflation, there are so many people who have had to take up second and third jobs. It's sad. So meanwhile, you are privileged enough to go out and do your Monday morning sourdough shopping. I'm happy for you that you get to do that. But yet again, it's about putting other people down for the position they're in. No wonder why you get a lot of hate. If I was to sit here and say, well, I'm better than you because I chose to lead this life and you chose to lead that, I would expect a ton of hate from the individuals who I'm saying that I'm better than. Does 1 + 1 not equal 2 to you? And so yeah, from what I can see, there is a toxic side of the Tradwife TikToks. And that's why I want to say, like, I celebrate people in general. If you choose to be in a relationship where you take up traditional gender roles, you have all my best wishes. If you are somebody who doesn't want to take up traditional gender norms in your relationship, that is also amazing and okay. I think that the people who are becoming very much so obsessed with this side of TikTok don't really understand, and this is in the terms, I hate interrupting myself, but this is in the terms of, you know, a man being 12 years deep into a marriage and then all of a sudden getting this hyperfixation on his wife not being a tradwife when that's not how they begun. It's not something they discussed in the past 12 years. It's only now. Now, a lot of these people do stuff for show. It's not real. Social media in general isn't real. So whenever I see Reddit posts on relationship advice asking how to approach their long-term relationship when they're already like years into an engagement, a marriage, a relationship, whatever, and they're like, you know, I really want my female counterpart to become a tradwife. How do I do that? First off, you have to commit to being the male counterpart in this situation, because if you aren't, then it's abusive. And that is what I hate where it's heading towards, is that people will see these fake ass TikToks and will say, yep, I want my girlfriend to be like that, but I'm not willing to even in the slightest be that for her. And that's my mic drop. So take care of yourselves, and most of all, love your fucking selves. Love. Why the fuck aren't you doing it? Come on. All right. Proud of you.